Hello everyone and welcome to a new season of URL Racing. This is the first round of URL-GT1 and we're racing at the Nordschleife. This is the first ever race at the Nordschleife for the United Racers League. Let's have a look at the qualifying results. At the top it was incredibly close between teammates Mikko Korkiakoski and Sten Mikkel Olsen. Only 90 thousandths of a second separated the two over the more than 25-kilometer long lap. Looking further down, we see Kim Damholt taking the first position for the AM Cup, followed by Manuel Liguori in 11th overall. Florian Kutz and Tony Ukic were very fast during qualifying, but they both made a mistake on their only qualifying lap and thus ended up in 9th and 10th. So let's have a look at the race. I'm sure it will be an epic one. So everybody is lined up on the grid. Mikko Korkiakoski is on the right in the Viper next to his teammate. Peter Bakus gets away cleanly, followed by Michal Klisch. Everyone has a good start. And it seems like Mikko will take first position into turn 1. Bit of an accident there in the hairpin, and Peter Bakus takes second position away from Sten Mikkel Olsen, so he will be trying to get that position back. Reinhard Berger was in 4th, then Florian Kutz already made it up to 8th, and he's following Manuel Liguori and Angelo Guidici. One of them goes a bit wide, and Tony Ukic there slides off the track a bit, and loses 3 positions. Florian Kutz is eager to take that 7th position, it seems. Let's see if he can take it in front or before ending the GP track. Here in the back, Michal Klisch and Alex Funnel. Michal Klisch was affected by the first hairpin incident. He was back in 16th, and they will be going side by side into the final chicane of the GP course. Michal Klisch comes out on top. They're following Anze Harast from the AM Cup in the Pagani Huayra. And Alex Funnel goes around the outside here, coming onto the ring. Very nice move from him. So battles for 16th and 17th position. Mikko Korkiakoski, Peter Bakus. Then Sten Mikkel Olsen, Reinhard Berger in 4th, Miguel Santiago Carao in 5th, Angelo Guidici, Manuel Liguori, Florian Kutz, Kim Damholt, first of the AM Cup, Mike Raytrix is in 12th, Alex Scott. We see Alex Funnel there going off the track, and Rohan Joubert closely following Michal Klisch. Sando Donadel made a bit of a mistake in the GP course, and he lost the feeling with the pack already. But here, all hell is breaking loose at the green hell. Florian Kutz is following Angelo Guidici. Manuel Liguori in front got a little bit of a gap. And considering this is a very tough track and also so close, this is incredibly close racing for all of these guys. Let's hope there are no big incidents that impact anyone's race. Havik Paniksander here in the yellow car is also ready to pounce if some of these guys make mistakes. Heavy braking here, and to set up yourself for a long full throttle straight. And it's Tony Ukic now side by side with Florian Kutz. Let's see who chickens out the first. Florian Kutz at the inside, so he will stay on top. Coming up to the famous carousel. Let's see how they go through. Angelo Guidici, followed by Florian Kutz, then Tony Ukic. A nice overview of the field here. Not big gaps. Any mistake will make you lose positions. We see here a mistake. Anze Harast goes through. Let's stay with this battle. It's heating up. Florian Kutz really wants to get by, as I said. He had some really good practice times, and unfortunately he hits the back of Angelo Guidici. And as I said, some guys can go through now. Let's hope their damage to the car is not too big. Avik Alexander and Angelo Guidici side by side. And Florian Kutz has to slot in behind, and that was Mike Greatrix in the Panos just behind them. So, finishing the lap on the long straight, Mika Korkiakowski in first, and Sten Mikkel Olsen gets past Peter Bakus, but unfortunately we will lose him due to a technical issue. Then it's Reinhard Berger, Miguel Santiago Carao, Tony Ukic, Kim Damholt, so Tony Ukic made it up to 6th. Mino Liguori, Avik Alexander, Angelo Guidici, Florian Kutz, and he's now really up the back. Let's follow him around. Mike Greatrix got a big draft of these 3 cars, and he's right up their tail. But they're already at the final chicane. Greg Metcalf, Alex Scott, 12 and 13, and teammate Ruan Joubert, followed by Anze Rast from the AM Cup. Michal Klisch in 16th, and Sando Donadel in 17th. Alex Funnel is in 18th, and he has all kinds of problems already from the first lap. Florian Kutz still didn't get the opportunity to get past Angelo Guidici, but now, or it's Manuel Liguori, I'm sorry, now he goes up the inside into the very fast left-hander. Let's see, yeah, he big slide, but holds it together, and he gets past for P8. Greg Metcalf here going a bit wide, and going wide on one corner compromises several other corners for Greg. So this will be, I think it's Alex Scott going through. Peter Bakus went up to 2nd. We lost Sten Mikkel Olsen, as I said, and Reinhard Berger is very close to him to take 2nd position, but he will not be able to take that 3rd position. Miguel Santiago Carao now up to 4th, followed closely by Tony Ukic. He passed some of the guys, and he's now closing down on Miguel. As I said, he really has the pace. Then Kim Damholt, the first of the AM Cup drivers. Avik Alexander in 7th, followed by Florian Kutz very closely. Then it's Manuel Liguori. Angelo Guidici had a bit of a problem in the GP course. Alex Scott, Greg Metcalf, Ruan Joubert. Michal Klisch now up to 14th. Anze Rast in 15th, also from the AM Cup. Sando Donadel here in 17th. Let's follow Miguel Santiago Carao around. Tony Ukic has been chasing him for the whole lap, and coming onto the straight, there's nothing Miguel can do. The only thing he can do is slot in behind us again and hope for a good draft, but that will not be enough. So here, the battle between teammates Alex Scott, Ruan Joubert and Greg Metcalf in the middle. Bit of a mistake from Alex Scott. Bit of a mistake from Ruan Joubert as well here going wide. Alex Scott hits the barrier now, and both drivers go through. So it's a very tough track to pass on, but whenever mistakes are made, you can make a move. So last part here, the little carousel, last part of the track. Final right-hander, very bumpy here. And then going onto the straight, let's see who can get out in front. So Alex Scott going a bit wide again. Riding here with the Ferrari F40 from Ruan Joubert. And Alex Scott is behind him. Michal Klisch is closely following Alex Scott, so let's look at it from his perspective. We see Greg Metcalf and Ruan Joubert in the front, side by side. Now, Alex Scott, will he come out in front here? Yes, he keeps it around the outside. Coming into the chicane, hard braking, very difficult, turning while braking here. Bit of a lock-up from Alex Scott, and Greg Metcalf stayed in front, as we see. So these guys after lap 2 still very close to each other. Very good racing. Into the first hairpin. Let's see who can make a move here. Everyone keeps it tidy, so no position changes. Florian Kutz versus Havik Paniksander. Also in the last part of the lap he had to back out, so unlike Alex Scott, he couldn't put it round the outside. Hard braking as well for the chicane, and Florian is very close. Car looks a little bit stabler, more stable, so normally he should be able to pull this move off into the first hairpin. He gets alongside. And if he doesn't mess up the braking here, oh, Havik keeps it tidy. Almost kept it round the outside, but Florian Kutz goes through for P7. So both Tony Ukic and Florian Kutz really moving up. Here we see Peter Backus and Tony Ukic going out, and Tony, who passed Miguel, had a really good stop, and he comes out right behind Peter Backus. So he gained a lot of time on him because he was a little bit behind. Let's see how this pans out, how the teammates handle this. Now we also see Kim Damholt and Florian Kutz coming out of the pits. Miguel Santiago Carao from P4 came in a lap earlier, and this is very close. Miguel was in front. He overshoots the first chicane a bit. Was surprised to see these both cars battling with him. So it's Kim Damholt in P5. Let's stay with them a bit. Miguel should have warm tires, warm brakes, so for him it will be important to try and make a move now on the GP course, because once you get on the ring it's very difficult, as we saw already. Florian Kutz is not close enough here to mix it up. Miguel sticks it up the inside. They're side by side now. Mercedes is a little bit quicker. He had the ideal line. Slide over the curbs, and Miguel takes his 5th position back. Kim Damholt falls back to 7th. He's still the first runner of the AM Cup though. Here are Peter Backus and Tony Ukic. They spent a whole lap running under a second from each other, and Tony Ukic will try and make a move here, and he gets passed. So let's see how this pans out at the end of the straight, because if you get passed too quickly, the other driver will be able to make a move. Peter Backus was thinking about it, but of course you don't want to take out your teammate. So into the chicane, nice and tidy, and onto the GP course to end lap 4, if I'm not mistaken. 8 laps here, this race, 200 kilometers, and a very big test for all the drivers, all the teams, and all the cars. Peter Backus very close, wanted to have a look, but didn't. Florian Kutz up to P6, as we saw. After the pit stops, he spent his whole out lap under 1 second from Miguel, just like Peter Backus and Tony Ukic. And let's ride with them. I will shut up for a moment and enjoy the driving on the ring. incredible driving here, coming onto the little carousel to end the lap and go onto the straight. Miguel at this point knows he's a sitting duck on the straight. So let's see what happens. Meanwhile, I didn't show you any footage of Mikko Korkiakoski and Reinhard Berger in second, but Mikko had a good lead coming into the pit window, so he's still in P1. Florian Kutz, as expected, goes through, but as I said before, you get a draft again, and will they be going side by side here into the fast kink? Yes, and who will come out on top? Who will break first? It's Miguel. He was not on the ideal line, and he had to concede the position. We also know, of course, that Florian Kutz was a bit quicker, could follow him a whole lap. Mikko Korkiakoski in first, as I said. Reinhard Berger, he double stinted his tires, so he didn't change tires, which is a very bold move here around the Nordschleife. Tony Ukic and Peter Backus, after another lap, still very close to each other, so no mistakes from these two drivers. Florian Kutz, as we saw, passing Miguel Santiago Carao for 5th. Kim Damholt, still first in the AM Cup. And Michal Klisch, good recovery from him. He made it up to P8 after the pit stops. Manuel Liguori in 9th. Ruan Joubert in 10th. I think Manglio is the second place man in the AM Cup. Then Alex Scott. Unfortunately, we lost Greg Metcalf. Mike Greatrix in P12. Then Anze Rast, 3rd in the AM Cup in 13th. Avik Panexander still running in 14th. Angelo Guidici, he had a bit of a problem in lap 2 and fell back to 15. Then Sando Donadel in 16th and Alex Funnel in 17th. So 19 drivers on the start. Coming to the end of the race, still 17 drivers running, so that's very good driving from all of these guys. And Alex Funnel is he is a pro driver. He's suffering a bit, and it's here Sando Donadel who lets him through. Doesn't want to lose any time battling with him. Just wants to run his race. In the second to last lap, here is Miguel, still close to Florian Kutz, but not able to make any moves, and slide here over the crest. Very difficult turn, and he loses the position to Kim Damholt, so up to P6 for Kim. He will score very good points here for his first position in the AM Cup. Peter Backus in the last lap, making a big mistake in one of the fastest sections of the track, and he will lose his position to Florian Kutz. So P5 for Peter Backus. And that's the end, folks. Here is Mikko Korkiakoski finishing his 8th lap. He has a big gap to P2, Reinhard Berger, who was suffering with his worn tires. So a big congratulations to Mikko Korkiakoski on a very good race. No mistakes whatsoever. Could take it easy. Reinhard Berger in 2nd, Tony Ukic in 3rd. So good recovery from him. Started in P11, if I'm not mistaken. Florian Kutz took the position from Peter Backus. Fortunately, Peter got out of the woods and could continue his lap to finish in P5. Kim Damholt, P1 in the AM Cup in P6. And Miguel Santiago Carao in P7. Michal Klisch closed down the gap to Miguel to about 2 seconds, but that's just not close enough to make a move on the straight. So unfortunately for him, he will stay in P8. Ruan Joubert suffering with the car a bit. Then Manuel Liguori in P10. Alex Scott in P11. Mike Greatrix in 12th position. Strong running from him as well. Anze Rast also P3 in the AM Cup in P13. Avik Panexander in 14th position. Angelo Guidici kept running to take 15th position and some points. Alex Funnel in 16th. And Sando Donadel is unfortunately being lapped up to Miguel Santiago Carao, and we see here how close it was between Michal and Miguel. Michal would not make it through for P6, P7, unfortunately. So here are the results of the race. Mikko Korkiakowski, he finished almost 1 minute in front of Reinhard Berger, and looking at his fastest lap, he was really quick. Tony Ukic in P3 was closest to him, but he started from the back, so he was also very close to Reinhard Berger, almost taking him with his worn tires. So a very bold and risky move from Reinhard Berger, but it paid off. These guys always want to win, so if it takes double stinting the tires, then that's what they'll do. As we said, Kim Damholt first in the AM Cup, Milo Liguori second, and Anze Rast in third. Greg Metcalf and Sten Mikkel Olsen unfortunately didn't finish the race, but nevertheless, around the Nordschleife, this is a very good percentage of drivers that made it until the end, so I want to congratulate everyone, and we'll see you next week with the season opener of URL-GT3, and we will be opening the season just like Formula 1 in Albert Park in Melbourne. So join us or stay tuned for the highlights from Melbourne. See you later.